Guys, and welcome back. Thanks for tuning back into my channel. And today I'm going to show you the much requested how-to of how to remove an overlay from your card or annual pass. So a lot of you have asked, especially after we've gotten new designs, we've changed up some designs and design colors. You wanted to know if and how you can remove the overlay from your card. The answer is yes, you can. It's just a little bit tricky and it takes a little bit of elbow grease. So what we're going to need today to remove the overlay from the card is, first off, I'm going to cover my workspace just because we're going to be using rubbing alcohol and I just don't want it to peel up the finish on my table. I don't know that it's going to, but I don't want to take that chance. So I'm going to take my trusty Finding Dory placemat and I'm going to put that down here. You're also going to need a high percentage rubbing alcohol. So I like to use 90% or higher. I've used a 50% in the past that I bought from the Dollar Tree, and that one was terrible. It still works, but it takes a lot more work to do it and a lot more elbow grease. So I highly recommend using a high percent rubbing alcohol. This one I just picked up at Walmart and it was like $2. And I use it a lot. It goes a long way. And then you're going to need either roll of paper towels. I've also used like cotton balls, the cotton squares. You can even use an old rag. Anything that you want to use so we can wipe the gunk off the pad or off the card. And then also a pair of tweezers. I use tweezers because I have nails on and it's kind of hard to peel up the corner and get a good grip on the overlay, so I use the tweezers to help me. I like to use another hard card to help me scrape the gunk off of the card. I've done it before where I just use the paper towel and that's totally fine. You can do that, but it works better if you have a hard card that you can help really get the gunk off the card. So with all of those supplies, let's get started. And I know this video is like cutting off the top of my head, but I wanted to make sure it was angled so you guys can see the table and not so much my face. Okay, so we're gonna take our card here and I'm just gonna try and find a corner of the card where I can peel up the overlay. So let's see if I can get a good grip here. So I'm gonna use my tweezers. Okay, so you can see on there that I've peeled up the corner there with the tweezers, and it was really easy with the tweezers. It was a little bit hard with my nails. So I'm going to just use the tweezers until I have enough where I can grip it with my hand. The key is to try and peel this off with as much of it in one piece as possible, just because it makes it easier. If it comes off in like pieces, kind of like when you take a sticker off of your car or something like that, or off of the label off of something, and it leaves all those pieces, that's okay. We can still get it off. It just makes it easier. And you can see here how at this point, this part, which is the overlay, is not sticky anymore, but the card is sticky. So that's what we're going to use the rubbing alcohol to get off of here. So I'm just going to take my card and I'm just going to peel that overlay off. So goodbye overlay. Oh, so sad. All right, there we go. So sticky card. So you can see here, this is the remnants of my beautiful Stardust overlay. So now we can change the card to whatever we want. And now I have just my naked, sticky rewards card. Okay. So now I'm going to take my sticky card and I'm going to put it down on my flat surface. Let's make sure you guys can see it. Let's do right there. Okay. So I'm going to put it down on my surface and I am going to take my rubbing alcohol and I'm just going to pour my rubbing alcohol just right on the card. And I'm going to use my finger to kind of just swoosh it around the card and make sure it's covering every single part of the front of that card. So just let it sit there for a second, kind of let the rubbing alcohol soak in. I'm going to rub it around with my finger a little bit, make sure that we saturate all of that gunk. I can already feel the gunk moving around underneath the card, which is perfect. So I'm going to grab my paper towels here. All right, now the fun part. All right, so I'm going to take my other card. I'm going to hold the card down. I'm going to kind of start in the middle, and I am just going to use a scraping motion, and you can see here. Let's see if I can get a good angle. Oh, right there. Look at all of that gunk that I just got off of the card there. So I'm going to use my paper towel that I wipe my hands, and I'm just going to wipe the gunk off of this card as we go. So I'm just going to use it to squeegee off. So kind of how we squeegee the overlays on, now we're going to squeegee them off. All right. And the rubbing alcohol is nice because it doesn't damage the image on your card or your pass or whatever it is that you're removing the overlay from. So it's really strong to get that gunk off, but it's not going to damage the image in any way. And it's also not going to leave like a greasy residue like I feel like a Goo Gone would do. Which I'm sure you can use that too. I just don't know if it would, because this is how I clean the cards before I apply overlays. So I just don't know if that would cause it to, the Goo Gone to leave any residue where it wouldn't apply all the way. Okay. So I'm going to kind of clean my work surface here because I have a lot of residual sticky going on. So I'm just going to wipe that up, get that out of my way. That is covered in sticky. So I'm going to get a new one here. I'm just going to wipe down my card, and I'm just going to make sure that I don't have sticky left anywhere. So a lot of times it gets left on the edge there. So we're just going to wipe off the edge. My hands are sticky. Look. Oh. Okay. So I'm just going to do it again, not as intense, but just so I can feel, make sure I got it off of the card everywhere. And like I said, just make sure there's no more residual on there. Kind of get it off my hands. I feel like that other paper towel was being very, at that point, counterproductive because it was super goopy. We're just going to clean him up there. All right, and then once it's completely dry, at that point, if you want to apply another overlay to it, you can. Or if you just want to leave it naked and basic, you can. It's up to you, whatever your initial game plan was. But now, the card is back to its original virgin state and ready for you to apply another overlay. So if you guys have any questions, please let me know. Feel free to leave a comment or a question below, and I'll try and get back to them as soon as possible. You can always message me over on my Instagram page. I try really hard to get back to you as soon as I can on that one. I'm pretty quick usually on that one. I will also link below the link to my shop so you guys can look at all the different designs. I just launched a couple new ones. So that way if you are refreshing your annual pass or your rewards card, if you want to get a new one, you know where to go. So thanks so much for joining along, guys, and have a great day.